very finances, yes. And I got my brains, and I'm pretty like my mama. I don't wanna pick your brains, I just want the microphone. Take the mask off your face, and look at me face to face. Good morning, good morning.
Morning, viewers. It's Tuesday, the 6th of January, 2022. It's 7 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show. We're coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. I am Julian Skeet.
And I am Rhea Richardson George, and this is the day that the Lord has made, and we will rejoice and be glad in it. Good morning to you, Tobago. Good morning, Trinidad. Good morning to the Caribbean. Good morning to those of you viewing us on the live. Good morning, good morning. Good morning to you, Julian.
Good morning, Rhea. How are you doing today?
I am doing very well, thank you. It's a good day, a beautiful day.
This has been one of my slow starts mornings, Rhea. But God is good.
We can tell.
We are here. God is good. We are here. We are here. Most importantly, this morning.
One of the guys, the director, is asking if you need a shot of punch-in. I don't think it's that, you know.
That's a bit too strong for me. For me.
It's not this hour. Not this hour. No.
Right. So, Ray, what's been happening in the Tobago space?
Well, you know, it's been pretty cold. I don't know. I mean, today's Thursday. I think 2 nights ago or 2 mornings ago, we complained of it being very cold, not realizing that it was cold throughout Trinidad and Tobago. The Met Office indicated that we saw some low temperatures. 2 days ago, some of the lowest that we've seen in a very long time, Julian. I was cold. I think that night, Monday night was cold. We slept in pajamas and robes and under comforters. It was pretty cold.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, that was the classic case with my young one as well. But you know, that's my kind of weather. I was very comfortable, very comfortable.
That's right. I forget. You do well in the cold, very well.
Because generally, the place is quite warm. So I didn't have much of a challenge at all until I heard it in the news that it was, in terms of the temperature being quite low, in terms of, unusual at that. What I also saw taking place, Rhea, we saw a press release come out yesterday from the Office of the Chief Secretary, giving an indication that the Executive Council will be participating in an intensive planning retreat that takes place from I think it started yesterday, and it will run until Sunday. And in fact, we are to expect, if my information is accurate, Sunday at 2 p.m. there are to be some critical announcements that will be made via the Chief Secretary, and that is coming out of the intensive retreat and planning. And some persons responded to say, oh my gosh, all those days. And then I think we ought to remember that this is a totally new administration. It's not a matter of just continuing. They are now required to put together plans and to fine-tune details in terms of going forward. So, I mean, like Tobago, we all look forward to seeing what ultimately will be the outcome come Sunday at 2, because really they've gone as far, and this is one of the things really that I think is very different that we are seeing. I cannot recall. I recall in the past having a very good idea, but I can't recall the extent of... Have you ever had such full details, or as much details rather, regarding the topics to be covered? There are about 17 areas that were identified that they will be treating with over the period of the retreat. In fact, they've identified facilitators, Reginald Dumas, Dr. Vanas James, Dr. Alina Williams, and a number of others, Binley Benjamin, and so on. Professionals that they will be engaging with over the period, in addition to the areas that are due to be covered. So it's really, again, in keeping with that mandate of really trying to be transparent with regards to the governance process. So we look forward to seeing what the outcome would be by the time we get to the weekend for the announcements to be made.
Certainly, and as you said, Julian, I don't think we've ever seen such a thorough rundown of any retreat by any administration. Everything has always been kept behind, very secretive, behind closed doors. But as you said, in an effort to be transparent and be forthright with the public, let them know what's happening behind closed doors. Just not too much information too quickly. Some things you need to keep in the back pocket until such time.
So
all right?
So it's left to be seen. We also have some birthdays this morning. Very quickly, want to send birthday shout outs to going out this morning to Tennille Sibro and Ronald Neptune. That's Dr. Neptune there. Tennille Sibro and Dr. Ronald Neptune. We want to wish you all happy birthday. Today, Tuesday, the 6th of January, coming from the Tobago Updates family, and we want to wish you the very best. We trust that you have an enjoyable day today as you celebrate.
That's right. And I've got a special one going out this morning to Crystal Lawrence, celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday, Crystal. Love going out to you from the entire Wesleyan Holiness Church family. We love you, and life is better having you around. All right? I've got a couple of condolences as well. So, on Sunday, Mr. Virgil Alexander passed away, and this is my in-law, my uncle-in-law, my husband's uncle, Virgil Alexander from Bethel, Tobago, passed away on Sunday. Condolences to the entire family. And then just yesterday, his granddaughter, Rhonda Burnett McPherson, passed away. Rhonda was one of those cousin-in-laws that was one of the good ones, you know. Very pleasant, always smiling. We had a good rapport, and she will be missed. So we want to take the opportunity this morning to send condolences to the entire family who would be grieving and missing them, and putting things in place to not just, you know, celebrate the life of one, but celebrate the life of both of them at this time. So condolences. Yeah.
Yeah. So viewers, at this point, we want to continue to remind you to stay tuned, to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your
Trinidad and Tobago. I am Nigel Paul, winner of a bronze medal at the recently concluded IABA World Boxing Championships for men held in Serbia in the 92 plus kgs category. I got vaccinated to represent the red, white and black with distinction. So now I'm asking you, all citizens, to please get the vaccine. Do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for the country. We the athletes want to train every day and bring back medals for you. So don't hesitate, vaccinate today.
Citizens, get the vaccine for you, me and TNT. Don't hesitate. Vaccinate today. Kindly sponsored by NLCB, DeSalcott.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place.
Good morning, viewers. It's 7:08 a.m. and welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. In this segment, we begin the conversation this morning with Latia Cox, second vice president of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nursing Association. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. And
Good
this
morning
is
to you.
indeed the Lord has made. I love the introduction. So thank you for having me this morning.
My pleasure.
Not hearing. You could go ahead.
Oh, you're not hearing?
I don't seem to be hearing. Let's go. Are you hearing us on that here?
Yes, I am. You're not hearing me?
All
Okay,
right.
are you hearing me? Ms. Cox, are you
Yes, I
hearing
am.
me? Okay,
Yes.
so we're talking this morning about mandatory vaccination and its implications. And you are the second vice president of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nursing Association, yes?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Okay. Now, let's talk a little bit about, in terms of from where you sit, what is happening from where you sit?
Well, what we are seeing, if we want to start with, of course, Tobago, we are seeing that the Secretary of Health, Ms. Yisrael, Dr. Yisrael, I see a different approach in Tobago when you compare to Trinidad. We're seeing that Dr. Israel is using a more soft approach, and of course the management is responding to that, and we're not hearing or seeing the sort of pressure that we're seeing in our Trinidadian counties where they're asking for vaccination cards. So the anxiety levels in the Tobago hospitals where nursing and midwifery personnel are concerned are not as it is in Trinidad.
And let's talk, okay, I hear what you're saying here with regards, what you're seeing in Trinidad as compared with Tobago and the type of approach that you see coming from the Secretary of Health. In terms of what you see on a daily basis, what your staff, the nurses throughout the healthcare system, what they see on a daily basis. Let's talk a
Okay,
little
in
bit
terms
about
of
that and relate that to the type of pressure that we see bearing down on the population by the government.
I guess what we're seeing in the hospitals, of course, is an influx of additional COVID-19 infections, and of course, increase the number of patients coming into the accident and even the ICUs. What we are also seeing there is a mixture of both vaccinated and unvaccinated persons coming in, and that's what we're right now. And because of the influx of patients, it's causing a sort of overwhelming of the healthcare system, where you are not getting that staff, that nurse ratio that is ideal. Sometimes you have a 1 to 20, and this is not ideal for the kind of care that a person would require.
Cox,
Yes,
one
I'm
of
hearing.
the reasons or circumstances, naturally, one would think in a time where we are facing a pandemic, and following the science, one would think quite naturally that medical personnel would be first in line. I want you to give us a clear sense that as at the start of January 2022, what is the position of the Trinidad and Tobago Registered Nursing Association in relation to vaccination?
Well, we have made our position quite clear. We sent out a notice very early that we are pro-vaccine, but we are also pro-choice. And this is in keeping with the World Health Organization guidelines as it relates to vaccines. They are not in support of mandatory vaccination. The World Health Organization says that it's an actual very last resort after everything has been explored. And we believe everything has been explored in this situation. And even healthcare workers, where there seems to be a sort of vaccine shame for health workers who may have been a little bit hesitant. But the World Health Organization did a very comprehensive document in April of 2021 stating that it is wiser to use actually suasion and education for the health workers, because you would want that confidence in the vaccine. You don't want persons to be actually resentful for being forced to accept the vaccine. So yes, we are pro-choice, not for mandatory vaccinations.
Percentage of the nursing, in terms of the nursing population, approximately, are currently vaccinated in Trinidad and Tobago, even if you know within the Tobago space?
The last percentage we would have received in November, it was just a little over 65%. I believe it would have increased since then. Overall healthcare work was about 75%. And if you look at the statistics that the Minister of Health and they would have revealed to us, care workers were higher than all the other professions.
So you're saying it was just about 65?
Just over 65% for the nursing personnel. That was in November.
Okay.
Of 2021.
Okay. Letitia Cox, tell us about some of the concerns that the nursing staff may have as it relates to being forced to be vaccinated. Is it an issue of the being forced, or is it an issue of the vaccination itself?
Well, if you would look, if you would be able to get a chance to look at that WHO document, and when it speaks to mandates and vaccines in terms of efficacy, effectiveness of the vaccine, realize that our vaccine, our COVID vaccine is at the point where it's sort of have a short lifespan, in that you require boosters quite, in a shorter space of time, and therefore it should not be limited. Some of the concerns that the nurses maybe have is, yes, the very efficacy that the World Health Organization is talking about, maybe it's philosophical, and also maybe because of medical concerns, because that chance that you may have an adverse reaction to the drug. And unlike because in Singapore, the government took a proactive approach and would have placed a fund for those who would have experienced any sort of adverse reaction to the drug, or to the vaccine. They are paid for that adverse reaction, because of course, if you are rendered incapable of continuing work and so on, you have to be able to take care of your family ones. So there is that chance that a person may experience an adverse reaction, and you cannot always know in advance if you're going to react poorly to the vaccine. But at the time, we have not seen that great percentage of persons having adverse reaction, but there's always that chance.
Sorry, and you're saying here that even in the face of the number of deaths that we are seeing every day, and you all are professionals here, and we see you as the professionals, and you put your life on the line every day. You've been doing it for the last, in fact, even before COVID-19, even before there was a pandemic. But it's just that at this point, you face death. You face death every day, and even in the face of that, persons still have their concerns and are still refusing the vaccination.
Well, I would want to say it would suggest that vaccination is the only way out of this pandemic. But if we look at the key ingredients, even when you are vaccinated, you're still required to maintain other protocols that are very critical, because we do understand, though you are vaccinated, you cannot be a hero or heroine and say you're going out there without your mask, you're not washing and so forth, because we do realize you can still contract the illness, and there could be that chance that you can also die, right? So it gives us an added layer of protection, but it is not 100% cure. There are other things like using your mask, washing your hands, social distancing, avoiding big crowds that you may, make yourself more susceptible to actually getting the disease. So we need to see an overall change in the behavior of the society when it comes to prevention of infection. Yes, we need to see that it's not only vaccine. The vaccine is an added layer of protection, but you still need those other very critical things. And one of the things that I would have liked in terms of what the new Secretary of Health would have, is that they are looking at educating more. They are looking at increasing testing, so persons would know their status and be able to take the necessary precautions. Yes, and also in manpower so that they can do more monitoring, and that is very important. What we have seen in Trinidad, especially, is an actual, version of the community health aspect, where there's that monitoring of persons who are to ensure that they are not going out and infecting others, ensuring that the persons who are in contact with them are quarantined. That has actually fallen down. We believe this is one of the biggest reasons we are having these increased infections.
Latia Cox, we have to wrap this morning's interview because we're out of time. But I need to know, should the public be worried come January 15th?
I believe that the public should be concerned, especially in Trinidad, where we have seen the authorities, especially CRHA, they have already started discontinuing or actually calling and telling businesses continuing their contracts if they do not get vaccinated. So we should be concerned this will devastate our healthcare system. We do not need this at this time.
All right, well, thank you so much. We will definitely check back in with you at a later date to get an update on, what's happening.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Letitia Cox.
It really doesn't surprise me, Ria, the approach she's referring to by Secretary Dr. Faith, because this is one of the things she has spoken about for a very long while, the softer approach to reaching people for what is, a very major kind of concern in treating with vaccination.
When there is education, there is buy-in. When there's buy-in, there is change.
So you got to bring people to that level of comfort.
That's
All right. Just as we wrap this segment, we want to head online just very quickly to give a shout out. Happy 18th birthday to Avian Campbell. And that's coming from Auntie Cindy Taylor. All right, Avian Campbell, happy birthday to you. Happy 18th. Welcome to that adult life. I don't know if Auntie Cindy would like that part, but welcome to that adult life. All right, viewers, we want to thank you so much for your continued love and support. We continue to follow you on the live as well. Feel free to drop your comments, drop your questions as we go along. We also want to thank our viewers, those of you joining us via Gael as well as M&ETV. Continue to share the live, folks. Share the live. Share the live.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers.
Good
It's
morning.
7:22 a.m. and this is the Tobago Updates morning show coming to you live from the Port Mall in Scarborough. This morning in this segment, we are chatting with the Honorable Melford Nicholas, and that's Minister of Information, Broadcasting, Telecommunications and Information Technology in Antigua and Barbuda. Good morning, Mr. Minister.
Good morning, Tobago. Good morning to you on this live program. And let me continue with the theme. It's a good day to be alive. It's good to be alive, and God is to be praised for all of this.
Right, excellent. Well, we're happy to have Antigua and Barbuda join us this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show. And what we're chatting about this morning is mandatory vaccination and its implications. Of course, you know, within Trinidad and Tobago, we're now moving in that direction in this month, in January. But we thought it important to interact with you, bearing in mind that as of, if my information is correct, September of last year, Antigua and Barbuda Prime Minister took the decision, along with the cabinet and the entire team, to move in that direction of mandatory vaccination, notwithstanding the challenges or resistance that came with it. Give us a sense as to how that has been for Antigua and Barbuda.
It has worked remarkably well. I think at this stage, Antigua, amongst all of the English-speaking Caribbean territories, ranks #1 in terms of the percentage of the population that has been vaccinated. We are approaching 62% of the population, the total population that has been vaccinated. Our decision was informed, first of all, by a legal opinion that we obtained from two eminent legal professionals in the person of the former president of the CCJ, Sir Dennis Byron, and I think the dean of the law faculty in Trinidad, in terms of the legal and the constitutional basis for which to move ahead with the mandates. Having obtained that decision, we had to look at some of the same arguments that was put forward by the nursing professional that was on before me, in terms of whether or not public education and suasion could work. And prior to the introduction of the mandates, the numbers at the initial stage for those persons who were willing to be vaccinated in the initial phase of implementation of the vaccines in March of last year, there was significant uptake, but it petered out around 25%. And beyond that, there were many attempts at using suasion, according to the health professional, to encourage persons to come forward and get the vaccine. Bear in mind at that stage that we also had the challenge of trying to equip and repurpose many of the public health facilities to ensure that should there have been a large breakout, that we would be in a position to respond to that, to be able to get the requisite PPEs and all of the associated enhancements to the, the procurement issues that were associated with it, getting ventilators. You would recall that at that stage, President Trump at that stage had put an embargo on the exportation of various ventilators and other associated equipment. And so we had those challenges. And of course, we understand the very furtive arguments being put forward by the nurse, but from the administration standpoint, there was an issue of time as well, and there was an issue of cost, and there was an issue of the overall well-being of the society, taking into account not only the health of the individuals, but the well-being as well. So we always looked at it from the two-factor challenge, and it's not only the health, but it's also the welfare of the society as well in terms of the economy, because of course that had been taking a hit all along. Once the mandates were introduced, we had the uptake that we were looking for, and of course we took the political decision that we had to go this route. We were satisfied at the end of the day the public will hold us accountable for the results that we obtained. And I'm satisfied even now that there is general acceptance and public support for the measures that the government took.
Okay, Mr. Nicholas, good morning and welcome again to the program. Could you tell us about some of the initial concerns that the people of Antigua, the government and the people of Antigua have had as a result of the, well, as it pertains to the vaccines?
It was identical to what the good lead nurse had announced a moment ago. Persons were concerned that it was a breach of their rights to choose for themselves, their constitutional rights. The baseline for our response had to do with the fact that the noted panelists, the noted legal professionals did indicate that both the government as an employer and private sector had a prior obligation to provide a safe working environment. And it was from that we felt that we should have been able to take these measures. Yes, the initial response was that those who were opposed to these types of measures and those who were considered vaccine skeptics, the noise was loud, but I think at the end of the day, what we were able to ferret out were, some of the hesitancy. We moved beyond that because when faced with the choice of the economics, their personal economic situation, and perhaps maybe the pending the foreboding that they had about taking vaccines, I think persons accepted that the outcome was inevitable and came forward. We still have a significant level of vaccine hesitancy in the population, as I've indicated, we had set ourselves a target of getting to 80% of the population. We are about 62%. We felt at the end of November that the economic hardship had become overwhelming for some persons, and we decided to relax the need for the mandate. However, we have maintained a regime where persons have got to be tested twice monthly, and that in itself, over a period of time, we did that. The tests, we made them free, of course, for public servants until December, the end of December, and certainly moving into this year, those costs would begin to accrue to the persons who have maintained that they do not want to take vaccines, and presumably to the need for persons to go to the other option of taking the vaccines.
All right, Minister Nicholas, bearing in mind that effort that was made in terms of mandatory vaccination, there are some within Antigua and Barbuda who are, have become very concerned with, let's say, your last update that came out as at the end of the year, with what appears to be a higher than normal number of new cases. I think just over 200 or so. In terms of the new cases rising, what do you think is accounting for that kind of still high number, even with the increased vaccination rate in Antigua and Barbuda?
Well, first of all, the efficacy of the vaccine program never touted the notion that persons were immune to infection. The case that was made for vaccines is that it is a layer of protection that prevents severe illnesses in cases of hospitalization and the need for persons to be ventilated and even to suffer the consequences of dying. So that was the case, and that was the strength of the argument for the vaccines. But it was never touted that the vaccines would have prevented persons from becoming infected. We all know that the Omicron virus has been touted to be one that has a high level of transmissibility. And of course, when we removed the state of emergency on the eve of Christmas of last year, and the state of emergency has removed, and consequently the curfew, there was much rejoicing in terms of the younger population. Persons felt that they had been suppressed for far too long by the curfews, and of course those persons regaled. And of course, with the advent or the entry of the potential for the entry of the Omicron in our society, the results are not necessarily surprising. What we have to monitor now, it's the effect that it is having on hospitalizations and whether or not we're going to have to take further restrictive measures. But those issues have not yet come up before the cabinet.
Okay, very quickly here, in Tobago, there is a large percentage of the population that is employed by the Tobago House of Assembly. Is that the case? Is that the case in Antigua and Barbuda? Can you give us an idea of what percentage of the population is employed by the government?
The total population, working population, is about 40,000, of which approximately 13,000 are employed by the state or state enterprises. So that is the percentage. That's that we have here.
1-3?
1-3.
13? Okay.
13,000.
All right. Well, of course, the Tobago Updates morning show is viewed throughout the Caribbean region. We're going to give you the final 30 seconds in this interview. Anything you want to say to us in the region, or more specifically, the people of Antigua and Barbuda?
Well, let me say to our neighbors in Tobago and that there's no fear of having the vaccines. And the mandate is a measure that the governments in your particular location, both the local government and the national government, would have contemplated. And the beauty about what we have here, it's in all of these Caribbean states, each of the member states operate as an own laboratory. And I believe your Prime Minister and the other public health officials would have looked at the results that we would have obtained here in Antigua. A friend of mine called me from Jamaica recently and indicated that whereas we are boasting 62%, in Jamaica they're only about 20%. So it is for each of us to look objectively at what is intended to be achieved and how it can redound to the overall benefit of the society. So to recognize that even as we tout this notion of persuasion and vaccines, and education for vaccines. Our public space is replete with information about the vaccines. The WHO has indicated, CARPHA, the Caribbean Public Health, excuse me, all of these institutions have put forward the case for the vaccines, and yet the hesitancy continues. At the same time, state governments and national governments are going to be held accountable to the results. At the end of the day, if the economies continue to fall inwards and debts continue to increase, people don't like those results either. And so we can't have it both ways. We cannot be touting choices and at the same time holding governments accountable for those results. So I think that the Prime Minister and the government of Trinidad and Tobago has ultimately taken a correct decision, though it is a tough pill for the people of Trinidad and Tobago. But I can assure them at the back end of it will come the results that everyone will be comfortable with.
All right, Minister Nicholas, we want to thank you very much again for taking the time out to join us here this morning on the Tobago Updates morning show.
And there we have it.
So, it really gives us a sense, Ria, important that to get a feel as to what's happening around the region in terms of even this concept of mandatory vaccination in whatever form, it may practically take on. And it was interesting hearing the perspective of the minister this morning, giving us a sense of what's happening there in Antigua and Barbuda.
Definitely, we definitely did appreciate that. And the thing is, you sometimes feel isolated, that your world is isolated to your own issues. But when you hear from outside, you realize that it's a lot bigger than just us. Yeah. All right. So at this time, Julian, we are continuing to share the live. Lots more coming up on the Tobago Updates morning show. So we'll see you.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
To all Tobagonians and visitors of this beautiful island, the Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is seeking your efforts and support in keeping a clean and organized, friendly environment. In doing so, drop-off bins are located at strategic areas around Tobago for your recyclable materials such as plastics, aluminum and steel cans, glass bottles and Tetra packs in bags, and let's protect our environment. Our own Tobago Recycling Resource Initiative is here to propel that change. Look for the white bin nearest to your area.
Carnival is the time when you let yourself go to that place in your soul that your mind want to go, holding on to a bumper and just whining away your life. So when you see them girls coming and they whining down low, it have nobody outside there, but that's a sad thing, because we want to get back to some level of normalcy, and the only way to do that is by taking the vaccine. So TNT, let's do this. Let's get back to normal. Please don't hesitate. Vaccinate.
Citizens, get the vaccine for you, me, and TNT. Kindly sponsored by NLCB, Desalcott.
Jump up and down like you just don't care. It's carnival time. You could feel it in the air. This I wanna go on clear.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. And we are chatting this morning with Alana A. Allen. Alana is a money coach and certified financial educator and instructor. education instructor, that is. And this morning we are talking about the Intro to Personal Financial Development. Good morning and welcome to you, Miss Allen.
Good morning, good morning.
It's good to have you on the program this morning with us. You seem bright and chipper for this hour of the morning.
I am almost always bright and chipper at this hour of the morning, especially when I'm talking about one of my favorite subjects, which is money.
I like you. I like you. Yes, money. I think, but every woman loves it. Men would say women love to talk money, and men would say women never get money wrong. They never get change wrong, and they never, you know, when coming to money matters, women are always on top of their game. So we're talking now, the first, you know, very early in the year, a lot of New Year's resolutions, mistakes we made in 2021, we don't want to make them in 2022. We need more money. We need extra income. How do we attain that?
Well, you can start by attaining that by subscribing to my course, Intro to Personal Financial Management, which I will be doing in conjunction with CTS College, and it's starting in a few weeks. So if you've had those resolutions that this year is going to be my year, that I am going to be making more money, I'm going to manage my money better, I'm going to get my retirement sorted out, then you want to be a part of this course.
I like what I said, get your retirement sorted out. Now that retirement thing, you know, a lot of persons only think retirement when they're in their 40s to 60s. Before that, they're just living life. Let's talk a little bit about planning for that, because you're not just talking money or increasing income, but you're talking managing what you do have until you get more.
Yes. You know, I like to refer to the Bible. Let me take you to Bible country. And according to the Bible, you're supposed to get 70, about 70 years. We expect you to be here, plus, all things being equal. And most people work up to 60, 65 years, but they still need to maintain their standard of living for that additional 5, 10, 15 years. Right? Research has shown that people are now living longer. How do I maintain my lifestyle after I would have completed my working life? Because there's no income coming in.
That's right.
So now you have to be smart and plan ahead from your working years. While you're working, while you're young, your decisions with money shouldn't just be living in the now, but your decisions with money should be maintaining my lifestyle now. Yes, of course, we want you to have fun and enjoy your money as well, but that same income that you're making, it should be able to subsidize your lifestyle after you would have retired, so that you maintain the same standard of living or better.
During retirement?
During retirement, yes.
I know some persons listening to you this morning are saying, how is that possible?
That is possible by being smart with your money, by managing your money effectively, by getting subscribed to stuff like insurance, by investing wisely in different instruments that can bring you or generate income without you having to lift a finger.
No sweat.
No sweat.
So it's not about working hard, it's about working smart.
Working smart, and working smart with the money that you are making now so that it can pay you in years to come.
All right. So tell us about this program that you've got coming up.
All right. So Intro to Personal Financial Development. It's an 8-week course with CTS College, right? And we're going to take you through on a journey through 6 modules. And on these 6 modules, not only am I going to walk you through how you're going to attain financial wellness, but I'm also going to show you how you can build generational wealth. So you are not just working to maintain your lifestyle now. You're not just working to ensure that you enjoy your retirement, but you're also working so that generations to come wouldn't have to work as hard, and you leave something substantial for them so that they can build upon it.
You're talking about legacy here.
Legacy
leaving
building,
a legacy.
yes.
Or what we call in Trinidad, we call locally we say an inheritance. You understand?
Yes, but even when we look at the inheritance that most of us, we acquire, it is there's a lot of controversy around it, particularly from the generation or two that was before us. You know, those old people, you know, I need to leave some land for my child, or I leave back land for my family. And even when they pass on, everybody fighting for the land, nobody could benefit from it and stuff like that. So we now need to look at implementing the right mechanism, so even when you move on from this planet, that there's a smooth transfer of that wealth from one generation to the next. So we have a lot of fixing to do.
Yeah, and we want to try and avoid that. I think there's a generation out there that said, you know what, when I die, they'll deal with it. Let them fight.
But I've heard that.
Yes.
I have heard that narrative, and we are seeing now that that is not necessarily the best approach. So I applaud those parents and those grandparents who want to leave something for their generations to come, but also I want them to ensure that what they leave, that they can actually benefit from it, right? That there is that smooth transfer, like I would have said.
It's not just a family heirloom chair.
Yes.
It's not that just a chest of drawers,
of course.
But a little something more.
Yes.
Okay, that they can do something with, according to you. All right, so it's an 8-week course that's coming up, and it's open to the public. What is the youngest age in terms of person that you've had join your class? I mean, what's the youngest person? What's the age of the youngest person?
Well, I have been teaching financial literacy for almost a year now, and I've actually taught hundreds of persons, right? And I think some of the youngest persons who would have subscribed to my classes would have been usually in the teenage years, right?
You've had teenagers?
Yes, at this level. If I teach children, then that is a totally different syllabus and a totally different approach that I would have to ensure that the younger ones get an appreciation for money and for entrepreneurship.
What is it that our children / young people are missing with regards to money? You mentioned a term here, having an appreciation for money. What is it? Do you think our teenagers do they have an appreciation for money? Do they have an appreciation for how hard parents work?
No.
To earn an income?
No.
It's almost as though I need to get, Miss said, I have to get, I need, without understanding where is it going to come from.
And that's the thing. That's where the work needs to be done. Because I remember as a child, you know, your parents work hard to give you whatever you need, and a lot of us don't stop to think about where it comes from.
No, but it's called faith. I think our children have faith in us, the faith that we need to have in God. So God, I need, I'm not worried about where it comes from, but yeah.
But even I fell into that trap, because when I was younger, I was like, okay, the things that my parents said I couldn't have, I used to always say, when I grow up, I am going to get this and that, and I can't wait to get a job and to make my own money. And here I am a few years later, adulting and realizing that adulting is hard and money management is hard. And now, being older, I appreciate some of the sacrifices that my parents would have made concerning money, because I didn't understand the whole concept of work, the whole concept of starting a business, the whole concept of having $20 and having to make it work and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely. I hear you loud and clear. I hear you loud and clear.
But you see, money affects every single thing that we do. If you decide to go on a trip right now, one of the first things you're going to think about is money. You go outside and you call a car, you need money. Even to send your children to school, you need money. And I am saying to you that if you want to attain a certain standard of life, if you want to be the best person that you are, because it is my mandate to help persons become the best that they can be, right? I am the woman who helps you evolve. And part of that evolutionary process for the persons that come under my wing is to effectively be able to use money as a tool. Use money as a tool so that you can accomplish your goals, right? So that you can look better, so that you can achieve financial wellness and also obtain generational wealth.
Thank you so much. There's hope for us yet. I'll say that. There's hope for us yet. All right, so how can persons contact you?
All right, so if you want to get access to this course and even access to me, check out my Facebook page, Evolve. Check out, just do a search, Alana A. Allen. I will pop up, and trust me, I'm not hard to miss in the online space, right? Particularly for this course, Intro to Financial Management, I have the registration information on my page, as well as if you check out CTS College, the information is there. And I want to let people know that next week we are having a free information session.
Okay.
So you will be able to get a taste of what is to come over the next 8 weeks if you decide to journey with us to evolve your finances by taking our course, Intro to Personal Financial Development. I must say that our course is starting on the 20th of January, so we don't have much time.
Okay. And persons can contact you on Facebook?
Yes, they can contact me on Facebook, on Instagram. I am on Twitter. I am on LinkedIn. Trust me, if you want me, you will find me. Just type my name, Alana Allen. Type Evolve or Evolve Me 360 on Instagram, and it will come up. The information is there. I'll be happy to walk you through the process, but I want you, Trinidad and Tobago, and to the persons in the Caribbean, because this course is for everybody, right? My workshops usually reach persons throughout the Caribbean, so it's not limited to anyone. So sign up, get online, sign up for Introduction to Personal Financial Management, and let me help you with on your journey to help evolve your finances.
Thank you so much, Alana, for being on the program with us this morning and chatting with us. I think we all need your help, so we're definitely going to be reaching out to you. So thanks again for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, so viewers, at this time we go over to This Day in Tobago History with Devon Adana.
This day in Tobago history. Did you know that on January 6, 1794, a Jamaican-born plantation owner took leadership of Tobago? According to the University College London Centre for the Study of Legacies of British Slavery, 228 years ago today, George Points Ricketts became Tobago's governor. George Points Ricketts was born on the Midgham Plantation in Jamaica. The plantation was named after Midgham, Berkshire, which was the family seat of the Points. George succeeded his father in 1756 to the plantation and married Sophie Watts in 1774, whose sister, Amelia Watts Jenkinson, was the mother of Robert Jenkinson, 2nd Earl of Liverpool and Prime Minister of Great Britain from 1812 to 1827. Governor Ricketts was appointed governor of Tobago in 1793, but only served a year. During that time, according to Henry Woodcock's A History of Tobago, Governor Ricketts made several proclamations on the island that seemed to lay fertile soil for confusion as to what laws from the mother country of Britain were in force in Tobago. His time in Tobago was curtailed, however, because on the recommendation of Lord Liverpool, he was elevated to governor of Barbados in 1794. Probably one of the more interesting and unencumbered proclamations that Governor Ricketts made occurred on April 23, 1794, when he opened Tobago's ports to American vessels for such goods that customarily only British vessels were allowed to bring in. He even allowed the Americans to barter such wares for rum and molasses. You've been watching This Day in Tobago History. My name is Devon Adana. Back to you guys in studio.
For Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash in transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
Good morning, put a smile on your with a smile on your face. When you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Viewers, welcome back to the Tobago Updates morning show. We are chatting at this time with Shanari Richardson. I really want to claim him as my relative because of that Richardson name so badly. He is an artist, a well-known artist throughout Tobago, Trinidad, the region, and if I'm not mistaken, the world. I think his art has reached around the world by this time. So we're talking this morning about his art pieces. Good morning and welcome to you, Shanari.
Hi, good morning, Ria.
It's really good to have you on the program with us.
Yes.
I want to claim you. Can I claim you? I'm Ria Richardson, George. You're Shanari Richardson. You know, can I claim you this morning?
Well, as I always say, all Richardson's related to them.
That's right. So
yeah.
as of this morning, we are related.
Yeah.
Shanari, let's talk a little bit. In fact, before we get to these pieces here, and I know the viewers are looking, tell us about this particular piece here.
Well, what happened? I painted this last year, probably around May, so. Well, you know that we was in the midst of the COVID and all that thing. That was the third wave and thing that went the big breakdown and all them things. Yeah. So I was I just kind of finished my degree at UE. So I was just kind of there waiting a bit. So I just kind of
just some downtime.
Yeah, that was a downtime at the time being, and then after I was like, you know what? I feel like I'm going to do a self-portrait, yes? So I just kind of brainstorm and stuff, and then after I come up with the idea, and then after I just come up with the same piece at the end of the year.
Now, did you paint this from an actual picture? I mean, of course, it's yourself, but was there a picture for you to refer to?
Well, partially. I use my face as a reference and stuff like that, and, well, actually, I merged two pictures, actually. Yeah, two pictures are merged, and then I have to get this end result here.
When you're as excellent an artist as you are, I guess you can afford to do that.
Yes.
All right. Let's talk about your background now in art. You would have won awards as well. Tell us about the awards that you've won in the past.
Well, it's them from secondary school when I won the secondary school art competition, the office of the chief secretary art competition twice in 2013 and 2014. That's for the calendar where they select 12 pieces.
Right.
Yes, I was selected twice. Well, I was finalist twice. That's what they call it, because I don't know whether or not I came first, second, or third. All I know that I'm a finalist. That's what they call it.
That's right, and that one of your pieces was involved in the calendar.
If it's yes.
Okay, good. Now, tell us about some of the well-known persons throughout society that you would have painted.
Well, so many, you know. But yeah. I know in recent times I've recently painted newly installed Chief Secretary Fali Augustine, Bojo Banton, Shabarangs, T.I., Neo. I know I did one with Duvon Stewart as well.
Has he ever seen it? Has Duvon ever seen that?
Yeah, I presented it to him with them at Jazz in 2018.
Okay, we're seeing some of your pieces here as well on the screen.
Yeah,
that's the one with yes, Devon. Oh, that's Butch.
Yeah.
All right. Very interesting. So, and tell us about what is special. In fact, as the pictures are running, what is special about this particular piece? This is a marlin, yes.
Yes.
And the marlin is known throughout Tobago as, I guess, one of the islands. You know, if we had a national fish, it might just be the marlin.
Yeah, you can say so.
All right.
So, how that happened was that was in 2018, just before I entered into UE and stuff like that. So I said, I wanted to paint something that represented Tobago a bit now. So then after I remember I came fishing, and then after I just come up with the idea and so forth. That one year I didn't really take this from my picture per se. I just kind of
just brainstorm.
Yeah, I brainstorm and I come up with the whole thing. So I said, right, this represents game fishing. But
yes.
Yeah, that's why I come up with it.
What sort of thoughts are going through your head when you take up a paintbrush and you stare at a blank canvas?
Well, sometimes what sort of thing, because sometimes you might tend to paint have an idea for one thing, and after draw the painting and after you might switch on another, you just say, you know, this color, this something will look better in a sense. Yeah. Even like recently last year, I picked up a new style called hues in portraiture. I call it that.
Using?
Yeah. I use different hues now, different colors, various colors and stuff. While I was finishing my final year at UE, another lecturer kind of challenged me to do a final piece and stuff. So I was kind of there, kind of figure out what to do, and at the end of the day, I just I said, oh my gosh, yeah, I just use a set of different colors, and then after it just comes comfort to the end of the day now. And then after I just say, nah, this look real good, but Dr. this extra and all that's kind
You
of...
surprised yourself?
Yeah, in a sense.
Shinari, what is next for you? What are you working? In fact, what are you currently working on before we go to what's next for you?
Well, currently I'm always busy basically because I have a lot of clients and stuff I deal with on a daily basis.
And what do these clients want?
Well, they always want time portraits basically. So yeah, I get clients from Tobago, Trinidad, sometimes in the United States and stuff. So I'm always busy. Like when I'm finished with one, I'm not finished. I always have backlogs in the end of the day.
Right.
So I have some clients dealing with from since quite last year and all.
Really?
Yeah.
That you're trying to tie up even this year?
Yes.
How long would a piece like this take you?
A piece like that will take me approximately like 5 to 7 days. Once I have ample time and stuff with no distractions or anything. Yeah, I'll say 5 to 7 days to get everything right. That's including framing and all these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll take about 5 to 7 days.
Okay. When you're working on these pieces, do you have time to help Ingrid with the plants?
Well, especially these days because she realized since I get more involved in it. But yeah, long time I used to have more time to help. These days like she has started be begging me and stuff. Sometimes when I go and do the thing, sometimes when I go, she tell me she might give me 2 tasks to do one time. I do the 1 task, I do half the task, go back on her painting, come back, that kind of thing. Yeah, so that she has making noise with me.
I like how you're honest. Ingrid, he's trying. He's really trying. He's really trying.
It's like, to be honest, I just had to be multitasking on a daily basis sometimes.
Okay.
And yeah, art is something that sometimes like when it's a rhythm and stuff. So if you jump and jump off, it's kind of hard to catch back the rhythm.
Yes.
So sometimes I just sit down and go through my phone and see what's going on social media and stuff like that to kind of catch myself and then go back on them kind of things.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, he's honest. But Ingrid, he's trying. I'm just letting you know he's trying. All right. But what is next for you before we wrap up with you?
Well, right now I'm aiming to do. Not aiming. Actually, I'm preparing for an exhibition in August. I haven't get the name and all them kind of things. I still got to pray on it and stuff.
Right.
Right. I have an exhibition.
I like how you said that you pray. You pray before you go.
Yeah.
You put God first.
Yeah, God is important, of course.
Very nice.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we're putting that out there. God is important, and you put God first even before you start a painting.
Yeah, but you need God in every single thing we do.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So you pray, and then you get started, and that's what you have coming up for the exhibition.
Yeah, I want the team basically on independence. So I'm currently working on a selection of pieces and stuff like that. So right now I finished one collection. That would be I can't review the details yet. I finished one collection. I'm working on a couple 2 or 3 more. Yeah. So right now I'm currently working on that while working with the clients. So basically I'm multitasking at the same time now.
Well, you have experience of multitasking with trying to do mommy's work and your work, so you have some experience.
I kind of get that multitasking thing from a long time now. Even when I was in Form 6 and so wrapping up 6th form, because I was doing a lot. I was one of the only students at the time was at Scarborough doing 8 courses at the same time, 8 courses. And I remember Miss Devine was saying I'm a madman and all them kind of thing to do 8 courses one time.
And you did well.
Yeah, because I used to be in the art room with my sociology textbook or them thing. Sometime I come in school coming home after hours and stuff. Sometimes we hours in the morning and thing I coming home and stuff. Yeah, so that's how I was. I was just kind of multitasking at the same time and stuff.
You are a remarkable young man. Shinari, how can persons contact you?
Well, you contact me via social media. You can contact me on Facebook, Shinari Richardson Art. Instagram, Shinari Richardson Art, of course. Shinari_Richardson_art. And you can contact me via WhatsApp, 716-7036. Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure chatting with you this morning. I must say
Yeah,
all right.
That's yes.
Yes. So all the best to you. Viewers, we continue to encourage you to share the live, share the live, share the live.
Trinidad and Tobago, I am Nigel Paul. winner of a bronze medal at the recently concluded IBA World Boxing Championships for men, held in Serbia, in the 92 plus kgs category. I got vaccinated to represent the red, white and black with distinction. So now I'm asking you, all citizens, to please get the vaccine. Do it for yourself, do it for your family, do it for the country. We the athletes want to train every day and bring back medals for you. So don't hesitate, vaccinate today.
Citizens, get the vaccine for you, me and TNT. Don't hesitate, vaccinate today. Kindly sponsored by NLCB, Salcott.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Put a smile on your face when you're moving from place to place. Good morning.
Good morning, viewers, and welcome back. This is the Tobago Updates morning show. Ria, and if for no other reason, I return to this final segment to shout out Scarborough Secondary School alumni. Hey, we're making some noise this morning. Ria, exceptional work, exceptional.
Definitely, but Julian, I have to give you credit because if it was a Bishop students on, you'd be doing the same thing.
Yes,
but you see,
it's my connection to both Bishop's High School as well as Scarborough Secondary.
Definitely an impressive young man. Someone on the live is saying, I was gifted with one of his paintings and consider myself lucky and blessed. Such a talented young man. Often wondered why this talent was not exposed at the World Travel Market in the UK.
Well, we look forward to see what's happening now. You know, you just have to say it in the right places. And then you call a random name, Secretary Tashia Grace Boris.
That's right.
Oh, sorry, I just call a random name. Random names. Assistant Secretary Megan Morrison. You just sometimes have to call random names.
Yeah.
And we are confident that things would happen, you know, by the good graces in going forward. Ria, some of our viewers are saying we didn't give any shout-outs this morning.
You got to send some in.
McConey Critchlow, new JCI president. I see you on the live there. Good morning.
But did you see what Stefan said? Stefan said, I'm enjoying this interview. It's so real. I love it, Sonny boy. All the honor and glory belongs to God.
Yes, General McConey here. Good morning. Shout outs to you. We're also shouting out. We're seeing Grace Stanley, Teresa Serret, Denise Henry. Good morning to you. Carissa Moore Parks, Sharon Mills, and Ria, this is the point where our technical directors are telling us that's it. That's it.
So, Tobago, we are going to leave it. I think it's an excellent time to end the interview, but I have to mention.
Beautiful.
I love the set. I think we need to do some more of this Tobago updates. And for those of you who are willing to sponsor your pieces, your clothing, your jewelry, to the host of Tobago Updates, the Tobago Updates family welcomes it to put you out there into the space. All right, so we encourage it. You can contact us. How can they contact us, Julian?
You can contact us via info@tobagoupdates.com. That's info@tobagoupdates.com. And you can also contact us via phone at 284-6597. That's 284-6597. Ria?
That's it. So, Tobago, stay safe today. Wear your mask. Wear your mask, sanitize, and socially
We've got to make sure those pictures show up this morning.
That's right. That's right. So, bye-bye.
Bye-bye, folks.
I just want the microphone.